I want to show a video of the dangers that we think these front type ranges produce because of the knobs being out front. The knobs, you know as well as I do, if you have this kind of range, that it's so easy to hit against them and turn on the stove. Even though you got to really push it, it's still very easy. When you call LG and or this is an LG, but if you call your manufacturer, they're going to say, well, we're compliant. We don't have, that's not a real problem. They don't think it's an issue. Well, eventually there will be. But let me just show you guys and gals what I did. First off, I myself have turned this stove on 4 times now in the last few months just by running into it. Other people have done the same thing. So what I did first off is I went and got a piece of stainless steel rod. That's 7/16 rod, and I put it in a vise, and then I took a piece of steel tube and just bent it to go just as wide, a little bit wider than my stove. Now you might not be able to do that because I built these cabinets, and you know most cabinets are going to have drawers coming very close to here, so you might not be able to do this. But this idea worked pretty good. I mean, it probably knocked off a lot of it. The only problem is we're not satisfied with a lot. We want nobody to turn them on. So, but what I did is I took 7/16, I drilled a hole into this, into the wood here, 7/16 hole. I slid it in there, then I put this cushion clamp around it. So, I mean, this is sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So, we kind of like dodged this bullet here by putting this rod here and just moving it away. And this thing, actually, I can adjust it in and out if I wanted to. Like I pulled it a little bit out the other day. But, so now, somebody even turned it on with this on. And just to tell you how dangerous this is, my brother was telling me the other day of a guy at work that his kitchen caught on fire, and the first thing my brother asked him, are the knobs on your range in the front? And he said, yeah. So we got to take care of this. So what I did was, we looked at some online of what they had, and you see some that have little wedges that you jam down in there. Others, these caps, and these didn't fit. They were a little too big. Maybe we didn't spend enough time getting the dimensions, but there's so very little room in between. You can't do it. Plus, they twist and everything. I don't want people using this stove to forget to do something. So here's what I did. The knob itself, you can see this metal piece in here. Whatever you have is fine, but you got this little gap or little distance from this metal to the edge of the knob. And when you put the knob on, you can see that there's also a gap in here. So when you push down, and you can see the gap being taken. So what we want to do is we want to put something in there, not a spring, because I don't want anything that's going to push this knob up. If you don't put this railing on, you're going to have the same problem except worse, because now it's sticking out further. So we want to make something that goes in here, and I tried different things, different kinds of material and everything, and then I was at Home Depot the other day, and I came across this. Actually I found this out in my shop, and I said, wow, this is the good stuff. You can see this particular one here has got the split in it, that if I wanted to split this thing open to put around some copper tubing or whatever, you split it, and as opposed to the kind that have the tape on it. Don't get that. This foam is very dense. So what you do is you cut a slice of this just big enough to fit in there. And here's how I do it. So I put this piece of PVC around it, and I kind of like say, okay, that's about the distance that I want, to try it out. And then I'm going to cut this with this very sharp knife. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to actually angle it and hold the piece in here so I'm getting a good cut. So there's what you're going to end up with. Put a piece of tubing around it, you're good to go. then take this, you put it around here, and when you look at this particular one, it just kind of fits over this switch plate here. This is part of the switch itself that holds it all in place. So it just kind of fits over that, which is really nice. So I take this, I use my handy dandy E6000 glue, which is just fantastic stuff. It sticks everything to everything. So I use that, I glue that to the plate here. And when it's glued here, you put it on and it'll stay right there. And then you can feel the difference when you take one that has it and one that doesn't. You say, wow, it makes it harder to push in, a little bit harder. Now, if it's too hard, then what you do, you can't shrink or cut this thinner. You got to have it the thickness that takes up the gap inside here, and then also the distance between that and the faceplate. So, but what you do is take your little knife and just go and trim out a little bit of this material to make it thinner, which is going to, make it easier to push. So I've done that a little bit, and that makes it easier. So that's our remedy right there. Hey, this thing is working a whole lot better now, and I've gone and done them all. I've gone and see, this one here I trimmed out, did a lousy job of trimming it, but I'm always afraid of cutting myself. But who cares? Anyway, but this is glued on with the 6000. For what you're going to spend for this item here over at Home Depot, how many of these things can I make? I can make a mess of them. So you're good. Have that out in your shop. Guys, I hope this helps out, because I know I was frustrated with wondering about the stove. This is a rental house, and so I was always worried about it. Hopefully this makes your situation, if you have the same thing, a little bit easier. Maybe someday it'll be a class action suit and then we'll all get money out of it. But try that, and like it if you want to, and comment, and let me hear if you guys have anything other to say about it. But let me know, and thanks for watching. See you next time.